It's your favorite, yeah. Ooh, brothers, all your favorite, yeah. They praying I sway, and he cut out my day. But why would I play? The sun's so great, the narrow stray. Keep going his way, the narrow stray. Keep going his way. Yeah, they pray that I sway, and he cut out my day. But why would I play? The sun's so great, the narrow stray. Keep going his way, the narrow stray. Keep going his way. I put it all on your hoop for real. Wasn't expecting quadruple up. I heard a voice and I had to move. Ain't even planted like Jupiter. Cold living water and I am a sponge. All I be doing is soaking it. He forgave me for all that I done. He the one I can be open with. All of these negatives holding the grudge. Why I be thinking it's over with? All of that hate got them swerving in lane. Intoxicated motorist. I let them pass. Who in the race? Brother, I'm praying you be the man. He gave the green and I'm about to fly in it. They calling me Peter Pan. We lost the way. Now we done found it. That's why we pray to the east. Into the west because our ways. We fell in love with the beast. Rather be cool and back in the spot. Us and a couple of roaches. Then to pretend I'm something I'm not. Just for a couple of roaches. We waking up the children of promise. You about to win the compassion. Now I be moving, I don't understand. That's why I'm reading the caption. I do my culture, they still discriminate. Affirmative action. House of Yahuwah be under the chief. It's no alternative fast way. And he cut out my day. But why would I play? The sun's so great. The narrow stray. Keep going his way. The narrow stray. Keep going his way. Yeah, they pray that I sway. And he cut out my day. But why would I play? The sun's so great. The narrow stray. Keep going his way. The narrow stray. Keep going his way. We waking up the children of promise. You about to win the compassion. Mouths be moving, I don't understand. That's why I'm reading the caption. I do my culture, they still discriminate. Affirmative action. House of Yahuwah be under the chief. It's no alternative faction. Hey sister, I'm with ya. Keep moving on. Hey brother, you know ya. You got to be small. You're blinded, you're riding right through the storm. It won't be long. It won't be long. Keep your head up, it won't be long. Keep the commandments and God go home. God go home. Keep your head up, keep pressing on. Feel the last so you know that we're strong. Oh, you know the studio, right? We've been sojourning for far too long. Since the Holy Land invaded by Rome, was invaded by Rome. We the best, we the Israelites. That's why they mad, cause we can't be cloned. Cause we can't be cloned. Believe me, black man, I know it's a struggle. I know it's hard, so I know you got hustle. Yeah, I know you got hustle. Believe me, bro, I know it's hard to juggle. I know it's rough coming up in the jungle. Coming up in the jungle. Babies cry, gotta cry for mine. They need food when they know stomachs rumble. When they know stomachs rumble. This the plight of an Israelite in America, but just remain humble. Keep pushing.
They real tight. Yeah, they real tight.
Yeah, they in the same seat.
Yeah, I know. They finna make some weird.
Oh, okay.
You got to be strong. You're riding, right through the storm. It won't be long. It won't be long. I'm pushing on. Can't wait till I get home. Focus on y'all, prepare for spiritual cyclones. Battlefield, feel more like a marathon. 4 wins left to see dry for the dry bones. Torah keeper, truth seeker, keep pushing the gates of hell, can't move keeper. I remember when I first heard the truth, I looked in the mirror and said the king is in you. I remember being kept in God's protection. I was stressed out, got shalom to fight depression. Wake up calm, what you waiting on? Obedience to Yah, give you power from the throne. If Yah's with me, then who shall I fear? Yeshua got the power, who got the ears to hear? The end is near, the world premiere. They hate the glare, we shine like chandeliers.
Hey sister, I'm with ya. Keep holding on. Hey brother, you know ya. You got to be strong. You're grinding, you're riding right through the storm. It won't be long. It won't be long. Hey sister, I'm with ya. Keep holding on. Hey brother, you know ya. You got to be strong. You're grinding, you're riding right through the storm. It won't be long. It won't be long. Hey sister, I'm with ya. Keep holding on. Keep holding on. Hey brother, you know ya. You got to be strong. You gotta do it. You're grinding. You're riding right through the storm. It won't be long. It won't be long.
All right, y'all, we're gonna stand and face the room. We're gonna open up. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of your house, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Hallelujah. Like to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the class and everybody looking online on the different platforms. Shabbat Shalom, happy feast of dedication. Glad to be before the people once again. And Young Lion's going to be doing the teaching today. I'll be doing the read. With that, I'm going to turn it over to him. Let him give y'all the title of the lesson. He can go and dispensate the word of the Most High.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, family. Happy feast of dedication. What day is this?
This is day 7.
Day 7. One more day. So happy feast of dedication, Shabbat Shalom, all that good stuff. Hope y'all been resting well, behaving yourselves, you know what I'm saying, and you know, just being blessed. The title of today's class is Life on the Narrow Path Part 2, Emotional Roller Coaster, Reason versus Passion. All right, so this is Part 2 of Life on the Narrow Path, and pretty much in the first part, we talked about, you know, just the things you will go through on the path, and how the path is a path of hell and high water. You know what I'm saying? We get that from the parable in Esdras about the narrow path. In the Apocrypha, it talks about how on one side is high water, and then on other side is fire. But in this part, we kind of gonna go through like all the emotions, you know what I'm saying, that one will feel on this walk. Because sometimes we think, you know, a lot of the stuff we feel is unnatural. And because we in this walk, that we shouldn't be feeling certain things, or that it's impossible to feel certain things while you're on this walk. It's an up and down walk. You know what I'm saying? I'll be lying to say you're going to be one way all the time in this walk. You know what I'm saying, man? Some days you're going to be so happy nothing can bring you down. Man, some days you're gonna be so low, you don't think you're gonna be able to get back up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're gonna on this path, you're gonna look around you, you're gonna see the wicked prosper, and it's gonna make you feel like, why am I doing what I'm doing? What is my good doing? What benefit is me? You know what I'm saying? Is it me being on this walk? I'm seeing the wicked prosper, I'm seeing the wicked die long, yet I'm seeing the righteous, they dying horrible deaths. You know what I'm saying? The innocent are dying terrible deaths. It's suffering in their death. I'm looking at the wicked, ain't no bands in their death. You know what I'm saying? Man, and you know what I'm saying? What else we go through on the walk? Sometimes it feel like the Most High ain't with us no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And what is the great equalizer in all these emotions? Anger. You know what I'm saying? We get angry at brothers and sisters in this walk when they don't handle situations like they should be handling situations. You look and you like David in the Psalms, man, it ain't no more righteous men left. You know what I'm saying? You're going to face discouragement. You're going to face a struggle to be obedient in this thing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go through a emotional roller coaster. It's a lot of highs on this thing too. It's a lot of highs on it. But the great equalizer, right, is godly thinking, of what in 4 Maccabees we read is called reasoning, which is in layman terms just godly thinking. So we're gonna go through these scriptures. Like I said, we ain't got a lot. And what we're gonna pretty much do, we're gonna look at our forefathers. We're gonna look at a few examples of our forefathers and how they dealt with their emotions. And we got a few out of the Psalms. And what I want y'all to notice in Psalms is whenever we, you know what I'm saying, you go through the Psalms and you read a Psalms where the writer may have been in some type of distress or something like that, pay attention to the pattern of it. Right, the beginning of the song, they all stressed out, they fretting, don't know what to do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Towards the middle of the song, they probably, you know, talk about the problem a little bit more. Then you notice toward the end, they come to their senses. Right. They just went on a whole emotional roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? They was down, beginning of the song, they start going up. You know what I'm saying? What do they tell you? They practice that godly thinking, that reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they was able to come to that moment of clarity at the end of those songs. Why? Because they sat there, they accepted the emotions that they felt. You know what I'm saying? They prayed to the Most High. That's another thing. They prayed. They gave themselves to prayer. Whenever they was overwhelmed with these emotions, they prayed.
Mm-hmm.
So we just gonna look at that today. Let's get this. First spot is 2 Timothy 3:12 through 16. Second Timothy chapter 3:12 through 16. Well, one thing we're gonna learn and what everybody needs to know is that godly thinking is the master over any emotion. I don't care what it is. And if something is the master or lord over something, that means it has the ability to dominate whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So people think, well, I just can't stop thinking these about big booty women. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just pray like we gonna read today. They always went to prayer, and look, they just had a disciplined mindset. Think righteousness until you drown that thought out your head. That's how you do that. A lot of people think, well, you know, I just can't help, you know, this depressed feeling. Yes, you can. Don't nothing enter into your mind and take a hold of you unless you give it consent.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't like to hear depression. Yeah, depression is a choice. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but to a certain extent it is, because it's a spirit.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You let spirits in. You had the ability to tell that spirit no. Go sit down somewhere. You got that ability. And people get upset when they hear that, but look, it's true. It's true. And real depression is very rare. Most people walking around here talking about they depressed, they ain't depressed. They ain't depressed at all. Right, so let's go and get into this. 2 Timothy 3:12 through what I say, 12 through 16.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yea, and all that will live godly in Hamashiach Yeshua shall suffer persecution.
All right, so when you on this narrow path, if you're gonna continue on this path, that's something you need to always keep in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
The more righteous you try to live, the harder your life gonna get. The more righteous you try to live, the more harder your life is going to get.
Say it, bro.
Right now, either you want an easy life or you want a fulfilling
Come
life,
on now.
but you can't have both. All right, go ahead.
But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse,
Yeah.
deceiving and being deceived.
All right, keep that in mind while you on this path. And if you're gonna continue to stay on this path, so you don't always be the one complaining. Dang, what Israel doing this and that? Dang, what? Right here.
That's right. Come on now.
They course is not gonna get better. So don't look for it. Don't expect it. It's gonna get worse and worse.
Come on now.
Right? Go ahead.
But continue thou in the things which thou hast
You
learned.
see what Paul telling Timothy, he was like, in layman's terms, basically he's saying, look, damn what everybody else doing, Timothy. You keep doing what you've been doing.
That's right, brother.
You keep going into the doctrine that you done been assured of and you have learned. Because these evil men just gonna get worse and worse. All right, go ahead.
And has been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Facts, go ahead.
And that from a child that thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yeshua.
Okay, go ahead.
All scripture.
Right.
All scripture is given by the inspiration of Yah and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness,
Right.
that the man of Yah may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good work.
All right, so we know that verse 16, all scriptures given by
Come on now. Come on, bro.
And is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, and instruction in righteousness. So that's why we going back and looking at our forefathers.
Mm-hmm.
Who we finna read in a minute was a man. Elijah was a man of like passion. You know what I'm saying? So that means your forefathers, everyone you read about, felt the same things you feel on this world. Had the same type of nature you had. You know what I'm saying? They got upset. They cried. They got irritated. They got frustrated. You know what I'm saying? But the great ones, the ones who did well in the eyes of the Most High, exercised reasoning over them emotions. They never let their emotions get the best of them. So let's go to the next spot. Romans 15:4. We just gonna do the when we get to the 4 Maccabees. In this part, we're just doing the first 2 chapters. Because like I said, I got more parts to it, and I kind of want to,
All right,
go into the other chapters in the other parts. So we in Romans 15, verse 4.
All right.
Get it, go ahead, just that verse.
all right. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
All right, so the things that were written aforetime, meaning before us, was written for our learning, right? It says that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures. So we can get patience and comfort through the things that was written before us. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say all scripture is profitable for you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you feeling that feeling of man, it feel like the Most High so far away from me. It feel like, you know what I'm saying, he don't even see my circumstances, the stuff that I'm going through. All right, so what are you supposed to do? You go back to what was written aforetime, so you get that patience and that comfort. Go to the Psalms and read how David was saying, keep not silence, oh yeah. Why would he be saying that if he felt like the Most High was close to him at the time? Because remember, we talking about a man who had a man killed and committed adultery. Yeah, you gonna feel like he ain't dealing with you at some point in time.
Right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us have felt like that. Like even when we was going through something, it's like, man, do the Most High not see what I'm going through? Do he not see all this suffering? I ain't got no money, no food, no nothing. And ain't nothing still ain't shit.
Come on, brother.
You know what I'm saying? These was men of like passions like us. That's why I say, look, go back to the scriptures. It promised you patience, right? You can endure whatever it is you go through and comfort. Like, dang, my forefathers felt this too. You know what I'm saying? The Messiah felt like the Father left him.
Yeah.
My God, why hast thou forsaken?
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Man of like passion just like us. Right? Let's go to the next spot where I say
You did.
I didn't James 5:16 through 17.
James chapter 5, you said?
Yeah, verse 16 to 17.
All right. Confess your faults one to another and pray one for another.
All right, that's two things. The first one, we don't do so well.
Sure don't, brother.
We don't do so well. It says, confess your faults to one another.
Ooh, boy, that's a tall order.
It is. It seems so simple, don't it?
That's a tall order.
But when it come down to it, man, we don't do that. And then we don't do that. And then we still look at a situation and expect the best.
Come on, brother.
You said that right.
You deceiving yourself. If you doing that, you deceiving yourself. It say confess your faults to one another. A fault could be a intentional or unintentional sin. Hey, bro, I know I hurt your feelings with that. You know what I'm saying? By doing that, I went off right there, bro. Forgive me. How hard is that? Did you lose any money?
Come on now.
Did you get hungry? Did you lose clothes?
Pride though. That reputation though.
Right. Your bank account in the negative after that?
No.
You lost anything after that?
Cool points.
Okay. See, that's about it. That's about it. Now, why we can't do that? Why we get hurt and go into the shell? Why we do that? What do that solve?
Yep.
What do that solve? What scripture is that? That's the best. What scripture is that?
Come on now.
Right? And then we look at situations and think it's all still gonna turn out for the better. No,
it can't.
You deceiving yourself. All right, go ahead.
That ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
So why when you want to be righteous? Righteous man prayers get much done right there, it says. Go ahead.
Elias was a man subject to like passions as we are.
The blue letter pulled up.
I can get it.
Put it up. The James 5 and 17. I want to get past it. It says Elijah was a man subject to like passions. All right, so we know reasoning is godly thinking. Passions is emotions.
Right? James what, bro?
5 and 17.
Okay. Because
I know reading these terms may be kind of vague. Okay, what's reason? What exactly is passion? We gonna get the definitions like verbatim when we go to 4th Maccabees.
All right. Go to the interlinear. So passions, we in James 5. Subject to like passions is G3663. Click on that. Passion, subject to like passion. It says suffering like one with one another.
You see that? Suffering the like with one another. So Elijah suffered like us, felt like us. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever think ain't nobody, especially if you in this walk, you shouldn't be letting stuff fly out your mouth. Ain't nobody walked in my shoes.
That's a lie.
You got a book of 66 chapters that'll show you that's false.
Yeah, that's
nobody
crazy.
never walked in my shoes. Y'all don't know what I'm up against. Man, shut up.
Of like feelings or affections.
You see that? Of like feelings and affections. So if Elijah, who had the Ruach HaKodesh, was a righteous man, it said he was a man of like passion. He suffered the like with one another of like feelings and affections. Well, and what about the Messiah? What about Moses? What about David? What about Eleazar, the mother and 7 sons?
Come on now.
They were people of like passions like us. So they went through the whole slew of emotions that you feel on this walk. We ain't going through nothing new. Right? Go ahead.
Excuse me. And he prayed earnestly.
Read that up.
Oh, you want to keep reading that? Okay, my bad. Strong definition. And the alternate of similarly affected, of subject to like passions.
Like passions. All right. All right, go ahead. Finish that out.
All right. Back in 17, middle of 17. Earnestly that it might not rain, and it rained not on the earth by the space of 3 years and 6 months.
All right. So we want to go there to show our forefather Elijah was a man of like passions. Now let's go look at the Messiah. Let's go look at him in the Old Testament though. Let's go to Isaiah 53. Isaiah 53, let's do 1 through 4.
Who had believed our report?
Right.
And to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed?
Who is the arm of Yahweh?
Come on,
is
now.
Talking about like his physical arm with triceps and biceps? Or is it talking about an actual person? Because when you read other scriptures, it say arm, and then right behind it, it says he.
Right.
He. So that's an actual person. Right? We all know who that is. All right, go ahead.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
You see that? They go there, he right after that arm, and talk about the arm of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Now this arm is going to grow up. So he's going to have a maturation process. You know what I'm saying? Grow up a tender plant. That's a young plant, just sprouted. So he's going to grow up. Go ahead.
And as a root out of a dry ground.
Miraculous birth. Miraculous birth. Root out of dry ground. Go ahead.
He has no form nor comeliness. And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
Right. So the Messiah didn't have a benefit. He didn't have remarkable attractiveness. It don't mean he was ugly. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't have the advantage of good looks, probably. And that was by design because Israel is so fascinated by the outer cup.
Right.
Right. Israel is so fascinated by the outer cup. If you look good, we're going to listen to you.
Right.
If you sound good, we're going to listen to you.
That's right. And another thing about the attractiveness, he wasn't coming with a doctrine that was pleasing to the flesh.
Right. Exactly.
That was another thing that was unattractive about him. He wasn't coming to, come as you are with it, come as you are doctrine, that outer cup Israelite doctrine.
Yeah.
He was always digging in right here. So that wasn't common to folk.
Right. Right. so the father knew if I make this my son a regular looking person, Israel ain't gonna rock with him like that. I want to see who gonna really rock with him. He come with good news. He ain't gonna look like your typical messenger. He ain't gonna look like your Pharisee. Cause then with the famous teacher, the Pharisee, they look good. You know what I'm saying? Got money in their pocket,
good clothes,
got some status. Everybody know you around Jerusalem. Messiah wasn't like that. He came lowly, humble. He ain't had no form, no comeliness. He ain't come screaming, hollering. You know what I'm saying? He went on the street corner with a microphone. You cave beast, the Most High coming. You know what I'm saying? It said
they sure do.
It said he ain't gonna raise his voice up in the street. We're gonna read that. Right? Let's keep reading.
He is despised and rejected of men.
All right, so how do you think that made the Messiah feel? What emotions you think that provoked in him?
Come on now.
That his own kindred, they hated him.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? His brothers and sisters, they didn't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we go through on this walk. Our blood family don't believe nothing we saying. Yeah. The Messiah went through the same thing. They're like, man, look, don't no man do the stuff you do and not show himself openly. They're like, you who you say you is, man, go show everybody. And then it says, for his brothers did not believe. Go ahead.
A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
A man of what?
Man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
You see that? It said he was a man of sorrows. He knew sorrow from a lot of different positions. From a king position. He was king over Israel.
Right. Creator of heaven and earth.
Yes, sir. And he knew that the redemption of his people was very far off when he was on this earth.
Right.
Sorrow of a poor man, he had nowhere to lay his head. I can go on and on and on and on. A man full of sorrows. But in one thing, he never felt sorry for himself, though.
That's right.
That's one thing we ain't gonna never see.
Yeah.
Right? Read that next verse.
We hid as it were our faces from him.
Yeah.
He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
All right, go ahead.
Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrow.
Okay, so that's why he was a man of sorrow. That's another reason. Right? He was always sad for somebody else. That's what it means to born carry somebody else's griefs and sorrow.
Mhm.
He wasn't never sad for himself. Right? But we going here to show you that our Messiah was a man of like passions like us, like Elijah. He felt the whole slew of emotions.
Yep.
So he wasn't going around talking about how hard he was.
Nah. He wasn't going around scared, being afraid to cry either. Because a lot of people think you ain't supposed to cry on this walk. Where y'all get that from? You ain't supposed to be no cry baby now.
From School of Hard Knocks.
You ain't supposed to be no cry baby, crying all the time, right?
Yeah. Boo-boo in the character.
Yeah.
It's not coming out to know this.
We read he was a man of sorrows, but that don't mean he was always depressed. He was acquainted with grief.
Right.
As we all gonna be on this walk, an emotional roller coaster. You're gonna be up and you're gonna be down. And you're gonna be back up.
Crying part.
What you say?
Clarify that. I might take that wrong way.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Let me
next
finish
one.
that out.
I'll finish that.
Yeah, we did esteem him stricken,
Yeah.
smitten of Yah, and afflicted.
All right. Let's go to the next spot.
All right.
Let's go to the next spot. Isaiah 42, 1-4. So we see the Messiah was a man of sorrows, but do we ever read how he could never come out of his sorrows?
Mm-mm.
So we never read how he was never consumed with sorrows. The Messiah exercised what? Reasoning,
That's right.
godly thinking, because he knew, look, whatever emotion I'm feeling, if I think godly long enough, it's gonna dominate that wicked thought or that emotion.
That's right. That's right.
If I rebuke and think this righteous thought long enough and pray and fast, it's over with for that thought, for that emotion, for that passion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let's go to the next spot. Isaiah 42, 1-4. You get it?
All right.
Go ahead.
Behold my servant,
Mm.
whom I uphold, mine elect, in
Who is this
whom
talking? Isaiah?
no.
He's saying, behold my servant,
Come on now.
whom I uphold. Right? Remember, the Ruach is the spirit of the Father, the
Mhm.
mind of the Father, which is speaking through Isaiah. So it's just like the Father saying, behold my servant. It's his spirit. Right? So who is this servant? Is it Israel? Go ahead.
Mine elect, in whom my soul delighted.
Right, because he is say right there, my elect.
Yeah.
Israel is the
They
elect.
sure do it, bro.
This is what non-messianics try to do
Yeah.
when it comes to messianic prophecies. They try to put
Mhm.
Israel there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he do call Israel my elect and all
Mhm.
that, but we're going to keep reading. Go ahead.
I have put my spirit upon him.
Who?
Upon him.
Not them.
Him.
Him. Go ahead.
He shall bring forth
No, they
judgment.
shall bring.
He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentile.
Uh-huh.
He shall not cry,
Mm.
nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street.
Esau, you gonna die.
They shall do it.
Was he out there in the street like that?
No.
He said he ain't gonna cry, no lift up his voice in the street. He wasn't out there arguing and Facebook thumping with people all day long.
With their kid white sons.
Yeah.
The Messiah tell you off calmly and go about his business. It was everybody else causing the uproar.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
A bruised reed shall he not break,
Right.
and a smoking flax shall he not quench.
Uh-huh.
He shall bring forth judgment unto truth.
Yeah, go ahead.
He shall not fail nor be discouraged.
Ooh, it said he shall not fail nor be discouraged.
Come on now.
Not to the point to where he would give up and say, forget it, I'm done. But he did face some discouragement. We can read that in the New Testament.
That's right.
He wouldn't be discouraged to the point to where he just like he let his emotions get the best of him and just say, man, forget the mission. Right? So it said he wouldn't be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth. Go ahead.
And the owl shall wait for his law.
Let's go to Isaiah 49. 1 through 4. Isaiah 49. Look at him again.
Listen, O owls, unto me, and hearken ye people from afar. Yahweh has called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name.
Who is this?
And he has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hands has he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me.
A polished shaft. He's an arrow. This Psalms. Who was it talking about in Psalms 110 when they say he shall strike through kings?
Come on now.
What do arrows do? Strike through. Who was this who had a mouth like a sharp sword? Revelation 1 and verse 16. It's the answer right there. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And he said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel,
Oh, Israel, right?
in whom I will be glorified.
All right. So the name Israel means what? God with power with Yah and man.
That's right, Hebrew.
Yeah, that fits the nation, but how does that not fit the Messiah?
That's who it is.
So how come his name can't be Israel as well?
The father's name, not Israel.
So who else is it talking about? This Israel got a mouth like a two-edged sword and is compared to a polished shaft, right? And was called from the bowels of his mother. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
Then said I, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught.
See, this is the Messiah.
All these Negroes.
He like the Messiah felt like I labored in vain with these people.
Yep.
I'm doing all this for nothing. Right? Here's the discouragement right here. We read in the Old Testament. I'm doing this for nothing. He got irritated with Israel a lot. Right? Go ahead.
I have spent my strength for naught and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work is with my power.
You see how he quickly came right back to his senses toward the end of that verse. That's their righteous reason.
That's right, brother.
Right when they discouragement and all they kick in, boom, he jumped right back to
That's right. That's right.
Right, that godly thinking, that's the great equalizer. That's how you stabilize all these emotions. Right, let's go to the next spot.
All right.
Hebrews 5 and 5. Hebrews chapter 5, read verse 5, 5 through 7. We might be over with before the hour mark, boy.
Look at y'all back there. Don't say nothing about no tag. He go. Hebrews 5 and 5.
I believe what I see.
I got the extra scripts over there.
You think about those.
Hebrews chapter 5, starting at verse 5, correct?
5 through 7.
All right. So also Mashiach glorified not himself to be made an high priest, but he that said unto him, thou art my son, today have I begotten thee.
Yeah.
As he said also in another place, thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek, who in the days of his flesh,
In the days of his flesh. So man like passion.
Come on, that's right.
Go ahead.
When he had offered up prayer and supplication with strong crying and tears.
What kind of crying? Strong crying.
Come on, man.
And tears.
But ain't no precept of Jesus will.
That's what they say. That's what these Negroes say.
Yeah.
The VeggieTale Negroes.
Yeah.
That's what they say. It says strong crying and tears, though. The Messiah cried. Yes, he did. Young lion, you cry? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Sometimes, man, the pain just overflowed and the levees break. I ain't gonna lie to you. And look, it's unhealthy to hold all this stuff in. Man, you would be so bitter, so mad, so angry, so frustrated, easily irritated. You just a ticking time bomb.
So if I come and install that line, y'all see, y'all think I'm acting weird. I'm in here crying over.
Now look, we ain't talking about all the time, like the crying preacher up there on Elvis Presley. We ain't talking about that. The weeping preacher. We ain't talking about him. Every time you see that nigga, bro, he crying. All right, go ahead. Pick that verse 7 up at the top.
And when the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplication,
Yeah.
with strong crying and tears, unto him that was able to save him. I'm gonna read that real slow. Unto him that was able to save him. Not to my mom, not to my dad, not to my wife.
Not to your third.
No,
None of that.
unto him that was able to save him from death.
Yeah.
And was heard in that he feared.
You see that? Go ahead.
Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he had suffered.
So
By the
sometimes
things
to
you
learn something, you gotta go through.
Come on now. Come on now.
One thing I learned about that walk is the Most High already got your walk planned out.
Yep.
Every trail you're gonna go through, he already got it mapped out. He already promised you victory. He said you more than conquerors. You gonna exceed the expectation of victory when it comes to your trials. You just gotta go through it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if he already done set the outcome up, you can't go around it to get the outcome. You can't go
See what I'm
under
talking
it. You
about?
can't go over it. Sometimes the only way is to go through, especially on this walk. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're going to have to learn by getting that head tapped.
Yeah.
You're going to have to learn by getting your head tapped. Man, your first few years in this walk, a lot of stuff is trial and error.
That's right.
Trial and error, man. You trying to find your way in this thing. You trying to see how you had to deal with this situation. You're not presented with every situation your first few years in their walk. It's gonna be something new every day, every year. You know what I'm saying? New levels, new devils. New levels, new devils. Right. Let's go to the next spot. Luke 23, 39 through 46. Let's continue to look at the Messiah real quick. Let's look at this strong crying. What I say, Luke?
Yep, Luke 22.
Yeah, that's the prayer.
High priest prayer.
Yeah, that's when he was crying. And, yeah, that's it. 20. What's that? 22. 22. My bad.
22. You gonna pick it up at 39?
39 through 46. Yeah.
All right. And he came out and went, as he was wont, to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation.
Now we keep saying pray. We keep seeing that. We keep seeing that, and we sleep on the power of prayer. We underestimate prayer. One thing I will say about our women are some praying human beings. Us men, we lazy with it. We lazy with it. Man, these women, they'll get up there in the middle of the night, everybody sleep, and get up and start praying. Yes, sir. All the time, man. Go ahead. So notice we keep seeing pray, though. You got to pray. All right, go ahead.
And when he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, Abba, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done.
All right, so on this narrow path, it's not always gonna be an easy thing to obey. It's not, because some things it's gonna hurt you to do. You ain't gonna really want to do it, but you know if you don't do it, the punishments later is gonna be detrimental. You can't come back from them punishments. So we see right here our Messiah, he's struggling right now. But the difference between him and us, he never once let these emotions override.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? His mind and what he was supposed to be doing. So he exercised righteous reason and godly thinking. All right, go ahead.
And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, as his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer and was come to his disciples, he found them sleeping for sorrow, and said unto them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye fall into temptation.
See what the disciples was doing? They felt the emotion of sorrow, but they sitting there asleep. How many times have we let negative emotions fester?
See?
Just, I'm depressed, I'm finna go to sleep. I'm just finna eat and go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't pray, you ain't do nothing. And then look, again, another situation where we don't do what we supposed to be doing by the book and look at the situation and just hope for the best. You not gonna get it.
It ain't gonna
Look how quick and fast we deceive ourselves.
That's right, brother.
We don't do what the book say and then think everything's still gonna be good. It's not.
They special.
And then be surprised when the situation get out of hand. Well, okay, what did you think? What did you think was gonna happen?
They think they special, bro.
And you want to know why you don't see no spiritual gains. You don't see nothing moving in your life because you are not living the way you vowed, the way you said you was gonna live.
Come on now. Come on now.
When you went under that water, when you confessed this walk, period before
brother.
you went up under the water, you said something with your mouth that's good enough for the Most High, because you was already in the covenant. Whether
Locked
you was
in.
standing there the day Moses sprinkled the blood, or whether you won, you were Israelite. You in this thing. The day you born into this earth, you in this thing.
Yep.
Right. So look, you got a seal on you. You supposed to live a certain way. You supposed to handle things a certain way. So, don't expect to see any progress if you're not doing it. I mean, you fooling yourself. You just going through the motions. Go ahead.
That was it.
That was it on that. Let's go to the next part.
All right.
Let's do Mark 8. Mark 8. So we seeing the Messiah. He feeling it. He going through these emotions. Read he was a man of sorrow. We about to see him get irritated right here, though. So you're gonna get irritated with your people sometimes. Very irritated with them. Cause man, sometimes, boy, Israel just I don't even know what to call it sometimes.
They'll take you there, man.
Man, look. They had you, man, Israel had you so irritated to where you just don't even want to be bothered with none of them no more. I'm just being honest.
What you just said.
Because it like you should, certain people in this walk just shouldn't be doing certain things.
Nope.
Like if you've been in this thing a certain amount of time, some stuff should just be second nature.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But you would think, but hey.
Take somebody home and sit down somewhere.
Man,
Thank you.
look,
That's a start right there.
no lie, some days I come home, man, I just cut my whole phone off.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I don't put it on vibrate, man, cut it off. Hold that home button until it say power off and then slide it.
That's it, bro.
Man, sometimes you get, man, Israel get on your nerves sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yep.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Mark chapter 8, still love my people though. I get on y'all nerves sometimes, probably.
No, you good.
Come on. Mark chapter 8, 11 through 21.
11 to 21.
Yeah.
And the Pharisees came forth and began to question him, seeking of him a sign from heaven, tempting him.
Mm-hmm.
And he sighed deeply.
He did what?
He sighed deeply.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what he did.
You like, I can't sit there and see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Oh man. Now look, did he do what we do today? Damn, man, get out of Did he do all that? Nah, he ain't let his emotions get the best on him.
Right.
So we seeing emotion in these passages, but we're not seeing these people being overcome with these emotions. So what else is they doing then? They exercising their righteous reasoning, right? So he sighed in his spirit. Go ahead.
He sighed deeply in his spirit and said, why does this generation seek after a sign?
Yeah.
Verily I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. And he left them and entered into a ship again, departed to the other side. Now the disciples had forgotten to take bread, neither had they in the ship with them more than one loaf. And he charged them, saying, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the leaven of Herod. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have no bread.
See, this will irritate you dealing with your people.
Hard-headed Negro.
I don't know what to say.
Short-sighted, carnal-minded.
I know what to say.
Keep his mouth closed.
He said, you are dealing with the people.
Yep.
That have ears that see not. Yeah, I see you reading the Bible, bro. I see all that. But I still don't. I don't
understand.
Get it. You dealing with the people that have ears that hear not. Ooh, boy, that script cold. How you lined that up? I like that.
Yeah.
Dang, man, them folks ain't gonna apply that to their life.
That's the whole point of it.
No folks, after you walk out, they ain't thinking about what you just said.
Your words of them like a lovely song.
Yeah. Now he just performed a miracle with fish and loaves, right? And they think he's talking about physical food. Physical food. Because he said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of Herod. They think he's talking about physical food. That make you sigh how simple-minded your people can be sometimes. That irritates you. That's the emotion you're gonna feel on it. Why you gonna get irritated with your people? That's normal. Because Israel is hard. Go ahead.
And when Yeshua knew it, he said unto them,
Yeah.
why reason ye because ye have no bread? Perceive ye not yet, neither understand? Have ye your heart yet hard? Having eyes ye see not, and having ears ye hear not. And do ye not remember when I break the 5 loaves among the 5,000? How many baskets full of fragments took ye up?
You see that? He said, in verse 18, having eyes, see ye not, and having ears, hear ye not. Do you not remember? We don't see, we don't hear, we don't listen good, and we don't retain nothing.
And we don't comprehend.
That either. That's enough to make you irritated, especially when you there all the time with your people, teaching them, trying to show them the way. You know what I'm saying? And people still committing the same lapses. It's all right to fall, but you doing the same people doing the same things? No, and you cannot get mad at people for not wanting to have patience and deal with it. Right? Go ahead.
They say unto the 12, and when the 7 among the 4,000, how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? And they said 7. And he said unto them, how is it that ye do not understand?
Right. How is it that you didn't understand? You think I'm talking about physical food? Why you worry about that so much? I just showed you ain't got to worry about that.
Right.
I'm talking about this spiritual food, but they didn't understand. So we seeing an emotion right there. I think that's it on the Messiah. Let's go to these Psalms real quick.
Okay.
Let's go to Psalms 109, 1 through 4, and then we're going to skip. So we see all the different circumstances and situations in this thing, you know what I'm saying, that bring about different emotions, right? We see, you know, you getting frustrated with your people. We talked about how your people not believing.
Right.
Shoot, man, looking at the state of Israel make you feel certain emotions.
Yep.
See, it's a roller coaster.
The most frustrating thing with Yeshua was they never comprehended spiritual truths.
Yeah.
They were always looking at the physical and the carnal stuff.
Yeah.
They never comprehended the spiritual things that he was trying to show them.
Exactly. That frustrated him. You see, he sighed. It's you read in Mark chapter 7, I believe in verse 34, he signed again. Sign again. Psalms 109, let's read 1 through 4. Let's see what David was going through. Go ahead.
Hold not thy peace, O Yah, of my praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. They are spoken against me with a lying tongue.
All right, so why, like we was talking about earlier, David is saying, hold not thy peace, O God of my praise. Why? Because wicked men open up their mouths against him, lied against him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you on the narrow path, just like he was. It's gonna be time where people open their mouth against you, lie against you, and it's gonna seem like it's prospering. Then it gonna seem like the Most High ain't doing nothing as far as judgment. David felt the same emotion. That's why he like, hold not thy peace. Why you quiet on this, Lord? You don't hear Saul over here how he talking? How you talking about he gonna pin me to the wall with this javelin? Right, go ahead.
They compassed me about also with words of hatred and fought against me without a cause. For my love, they are my adversaries. But I give myself unto prayer.
But I give myself unto what?
Prayer.
All right, there we see it again. We see it again. Just imagine if you pair fasting with praying with righteous reasoning together.
That's
all right.
powerful.
So we read this something like we ain't gonna read the whole thing. We finna jump down towards the end.
Okay.
Let's jump to 26 through 31. 26 through 31. When you get it, go ahead.
Help me, O Master, my power. O save me according to thy mercy.
Yeah.
That they may know that this is thy hand, that thou, O Yahweh, hast done it. Let them curse, but bless thou. When they arise, let them be ashamed. But let thy servant rejoice. Let mine adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion, as with a mantle. I would greatly praise Yahweh with my mouth. Yeah, I would praise him among the multitude.
All right, so we see how his whole demeanor changed from the first 4 verses to now. You know what I'm saying? You see the emotion he felt. He felt what? What's the word I'm looking for?
He felt betrayed.
Betrayed. I'm
felt
looking
alone.
for another one. Deserted by the Most High. Felt like he wasn't even listening to him. Right? But look at the confidence now. Why would this mood suddenly switch like that? Because their righteous reasoning kicked in. All right, go ahead.
For he shall stand at the right hand of the poor to save him from those that condemn his soul.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was it.
That was it on it. Let's
Yes,
go to
sir.
Psalms 13.
All right.
1 through 6. Psalms 13, 1 through 6.
All right.
What I say?
Psalms 13, 1 through 6. Those you want?
Yeah.
Okay. How long wilt thou forget me, O Yahweh?
Y'all see that? Lord ain't with me no more, man. I just don't feel it, bro. That's something we feel on this walk. Man of like passion, like David, he felt. He said, what he say?
How long wilt thou forget me, O Yahweh? Forever?
Forever? Go ahead.
How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel with my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily?
See that? How long shall I take counsel in my soul? Feel like I can't tell nobody about my problem because they just won't understand. So how long will I take counsel in my soul, right? And then it says,
how long shall mine enemy be exalted over me?
How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Huh? We look at that. Did Ezra feel like that?
Same thing.
He like, man, look, are we more wicked than these Babylonians?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who never kept your law.
Right.
In no time in history, no other nation has been given the law and kept it like Israel.
Right. But you didn't exalt these folks over us.
Yeah, but you didn't put them over us.
Yep. So did.
Right? I feel like this sometimes. Man, look at what these heathens doing.
Man.
And we still here over here in their land.
Mm.
I remember when who was that that cat killed? Was that Mike Brown in St. Louis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mike Brown in St. Louis. I remember asking myself when that happened. We was kind of fresh into the walk then, I believe. But I still remember me asking myself this. I was like, I know we wicked, but is all the wickedness we doing really more wicked than they doing killing God's chosen people?
Yup.
Mm.
Yup. I answered the question for you. Yup.
Baseball bat.
He was the only one he chose us from before the foundation of the world to keep the Shabbat with him.
Yes.
He chose us from the foundation of the world to give us his law, statutes, and commandments.
Yes, sir.
And guess what? The heathen never knew. So we've done a greater disservice to the universe. He said the whole world is out of course because Israel is out of their place.
Yeah.
You the reason why they killing you.
Preach that, Lord.
He said, you the reason. When you go read that in that Deuteronomy, he said, you have sold yourselves into slavery.
Right. And see, that question is the same reasoning Ezra had, and the Most High had to come to him like,
right.
You think you love this creation
Come on,
more
now.
than me?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And see, he let his emotions get the best of him. I let mine get the best of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a certain way you don't question the Most High.
Right.
Like
Job.
Lord now. Lord, now I already ain't got no money now, and this car breaking down. What you doing now, Lord? I need some answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's a certain way you don't question him, as if you don't question the Most High as if his ways are unrighteous.
Right, bro.
All his ways are righteous.
That's right.
You just might not understand what he's doing right now. Go ahead.
I done lost my spot. Oh, verse 3.
From the top.
Consider and hear me, O Yahweh, with my power.
Thanks.
Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death.
See that? Lighten my eyes. Allow me to see beyond these present circumstances and these emotions right now. You know what I'm saying? Lighten my eyes.
Yes, sir.
My judgment is cloudy right now. So, Lord, lighten my eyes.
That's right, bro.
When you feeling overwhelmed with emotions, this need to be in your prayers. Lighten my eyes, Yahweh. Help me see what I need to be doing in this situation. Go ahead.
Lest my enemy say, I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation.
Y'all see how his mood turning now? Because he prayed, then he exercised that righteous thinking, that righteous reasoning. Go ahead.
I will sing unto Yahweh.
Yeah.
Because he has dealt bountifully with me.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to Psalm 73. Psalm 73. We're gonna read this whole chapter.
All right.
Pick it up at verse 1.
Truly Yah is good to Israel.
Truly Yah is good to who?
Israel.
Yes, sir. Especially who in Israel?
Even to such as are of a clean heart.
Oh, he's real good to those in Israel. Real good to those. That ain't everybody. That's Israel.
No, so ain't.
That's the ones keeping the law, statutes, commandments.
Yep. And then look, you even got a remnant amongst that remnant.
Yeah.
You even got a remnant amongst that remnant. Go ahead.
But as for me, my feet were almost gone. Ooh. My steps had well nigh slipped.
He like, so look, he letting you know, look, man, this right here almost made me slip. This right here almost made
Come
me.
on now.
What's the word we read earlier? Fault. This almost made me have a fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
For I was envious at the foolish.
I was what?
I was envious at the foolish.
Man, I've been doing these laws, statutes, and commandments and still driving this Pinto.
Yeah.
And this Negro selling dope.
Big ball.
Killing people.
Maybach.
Oh, he in the
Maybach.
In the loft. Got a Bud City view. You know what I'm saying? A few cars.
Yeah.
Everybody love him.
Everybody love him. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, listen to him when he speak. Don't know.
Yeah.
All that. So ASAP saying the same thing here. This is some of ASAP, not Dave. So he like, I was envious at the foolish when
Yeah.
I saw the what?
Prosperity of the wicked.
Man, the wicked is prospering in this world, bro.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
For there are no bands in their death.
You see that? They don't die horrible deaths. Most of them don't. They go in peace.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
But their strength is firm.
Mm.
They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other
Yeah,
men.
they don't go through the situations the average Joe Blow go through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta wait till next week to pay the cable bill. Gotta pay the rent this week. The wicked don't seem to go through stuff like that.
Paid up whole year.
Look, from one money transaction.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That probably was something illegal anyway. So he looking at all this, and look, haven't y'all felt like this before? After you done looked in the world and like,
Yep.
man, what am I still doing this?
Mhm.
To this
Oh,
day.
here I am scraping for this dollar amount an hour,
Yeah.
and this nigga just made $50,000 in 2 minutes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Then you start reasoning in your head. You know what? I sure still got old boy number, and
Got the plug.
yeah.
Got my
You
connection.
start reasoning in your head. Well, I'm just gonna do it for this long, and then I'm hop out.
Yeah. Let me go holler at my boy, man.
Yeah.
Give me a couple dollars.
But you know what you just did when you start doing that? You let that emotion
Yep.
get the best of you.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
You let that emotion get the best of you. It would be the same way as if in a heated situation you came in the room hollering and yelling and throwing stuff. You let that emotion get the best of you. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They are more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens.
All right, so they proud. They speak against the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All in their rap songs. You
Yeah.
know, Jay-Z, I never prayed to God. I prayed to God E.
Mm-hmm.
I prayed to God E.
Who in the world is that?
Mob boss.
Mm-hmm.
So this, you know what I'm saying? They blaspheme y'all a lot in this
Yep.
music now.
Yes,
A
sir.
whole lot.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And their tongue walketh through the earth.
They tongue walking through the earth. Go ahead.
Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them.
Mm.
Woo! And they say, how does Yah know? And is there knowledge in the Most High?
So they talking crazy
Cash,
about,
money, stuff up in there.
about y'all. I ain't no guy. We finna get this money, smoke this weed,
Yup.
and get these
Yup.
women.
Yep, like that Joker Boosie talking about, God, man, I'm gonna eat this pork. I'm gonna eat this
Yeah.
pork. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right. You go ahead and enjoy that, bro.
Yeah, so we sometimes it's very possible for you to get discouraged because you see the foolish living like fools, but they're not dying a fool's death.
Right.
Sometimes that's confusing to some people. But hey, your forefathers looked at it and they seen it and they felt it too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go ahead.
Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world.
Where they prosper?
In the world.
With the Most High.
In the world.
Okay, go ahead.
They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency.
Like, man, I didn't transform for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If this the life I can live for being wicked, what am I being righteous for?
Come on now.
That's what he thinking at this point. Go ahead.
For all the day long I have been plagued and chastened every morning.
Now,
I say
check this out. Before we get to the next verse, all the way up into verse 15, these were things he was thinking. He never said any of this out loud. And we finna see that in this next verse.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy
You
children.
see what he said? He said, if I would have spoke this, he said, I would have offended the generation of my children. I would have been a sellout for saying this. So it's okay to have thoughts as long as you don't give
Act
in
upon
to
it,
it and
right.
act on it and start speaking it. It's another example of our forefathers, men of like passions like us.
That's right.
seeing the same things, feeling the same thing, going through the same thing. Right? Go ahead.
When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me.
Man.
Until I went into the sanctuary of your house,
Ooh.
then understood I therein.
Go ahead.
Surely that thou didst set them in slippery places.
What kind of place?
Slippery places.
Yeah, so them places, the wicked in that prospering, they high places, but guess what? They slippery.
Mhm.
They slippery.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
That's it.
Walking on thin ice. Yeah, partner, you may be up there, but you gonna fall sooner or later. Go ahead.
Thou castest them down into destruction.
Mm.
How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, they are utterly consumed
Man,
with terror.
who that verse make you think about? What just happened down here?
Hey, man, that what happened, man. Joker, hey, here today, gone tomorrow. You can be eating cookies in 1 second and cast
Man.
out the next.
Man, he said, how are they brought into desolation as in a moment?
Mhm. In a moment,
How you get killed getting some cookies?
your destruction shall come upon you suddenly, and there shall be no power in your hand and none to deliver.
Man, he said they are utterly consumed with terrors. Verse 20.
As a dream when one awakens, so, Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
So when the Most High awakes to judgment to judge these people, he gonna hate to even look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins. So foolish was I, and ignorant. I was a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee.
Yeah.
Thou hast holden me by my right hand. Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me to glory.
Yeah.
Whom have I in the Shamaim but thee? And there is none upon the earth that I shall desire beside thee. My flesh and my heart faileth, but Yah is the strength of my heart, and my portion forever. For lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a whoring from thee. Hallelujah.
One more verse. Flip
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But but it is good for me to draw near to Yah. I have put my trust in Yahweh Elohim, that I may declare all thy works.
All right, so we see again how his whole demeanor changed at the end of that song. Because he put that what in the play?
That's right.
Godly thinking.
Now,
let's go to 4th Maccabees.
All right, let's pull it
That's
up.
in volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's in volume 2.
We pull it up for the people.
We're just gonna do chapters 1 and 2. So we got 2 spots. These are the last 2 spots.
Can y'all, somebody look online and see if that's legible for the people? I need to blow it up.
Y'all been getting some understanding so far. Put some 7s up in the room, some 12s.
Do I need to blow it up? Can anybody see it?
It's popping up on my screen. Hold on.
Okay, let me blow it up then.
One more time. Keep it.
We're at 300. Go to the eye doctor. Yeah. All right. Hold on, man. Let me escape that because I can't see what I'm doing now. All right. I'm going to put it at 250. There we go.
Yeah, y'all get some understanding.
Hold up, man. I can't even see what I'm doing now. I got it too big for
Yeah, you got it too big. You can't see.
Hold on. What page is it, y'all?
That's page
545. Okay, yeah. Nah.
Go back a page though.
This is what you want, right? You want to go back one more
Yeah,
page?
we're gonna start at the top of chapter 1.
All right, let me go back a page. All right. Yes, sir. We good.
Okay. Make sure I ain't skipping. All right, let's go to 4th Maccabees chapter 1. 4th Maccabees, chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna read this whole chapter. We're gonna read chapter 2, and then we up out of here. We're gonna take our time with this though. All right. 4th Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. Y'all, this is the pseudepigraphy for volume 2 on page 544. All right, go ahead.
Highly philosophical
Mhm.
is the subject I propose to discuss, namely, whether devout reasoning is absolute master of the passions.
All right, so he said this subject is highly philosophical. He said, and the subject is whether devout reason or godly thinking is absolute master over the passions or emotions. So this is what we examine. Is righteous thinking powerful enough to overmaster your emotions? Right? Because some people will beg to differ. I can't help what I'm feeling. Yes, you can. Shut up. I just can't help. That's just how I feel. I can't help it.
Till you walk a mile in my shoes. Sit down.
Go ahead.
And I would strictly counsel you to give earnest attention to my philosophical exposition.
All right, so he like, look, pay close attention to this subject matter here. This is very important. Go ahead.
The subject is an indispensable branch of knowledge.
Indispensable.
Indispensable branch of knowledge.
Go ahead.
But it also includes a eulogy of the greatest virtues, by which I mean, of course, prudence.
All right, so prudence is the ability to govern and discipline yourself by the use of godly things. Right? It's knowing how to manage yourself in every situation.
Come on, brother.
Right? Somebody come at you with some mess about somebody else. All right, let me call their brother, sister, get y'all to get this thing on 3-way. Instead of just, you know what I'm saying, gossiping. That's prudence. When your wife pop off, instead of slapping her in her face, you slap this book out. Slap her with some scriptures.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And go on about your business. That's prudence. You know what I'm saying? When your husband pop off for no reason, you popping off, that's not prudence. You know what I'm saying? You handle it humbly and wait until he calm down and cool heads prevail, and then you let him know, hey, look, that kind of hurt my feelings how you said that. That's prudence. That's prudence, right? That's the greatest virtue somebody can have, knowing what to do and how to handle themselves in every life situation, every circumstance, right? Go ahead.
If reason is shown to be master of the passion that hinder temperance, namely gluttony and lust, it is also demonstrated that is master, over the passions that impede justice, such as malice, and over the passions that impede courage, such as rage, fear, and pain.
All right, so he's saying, therefore, if godly thinking is shown to control the emotions that prevent self-control, such as the tendency to overeat and lust, he's saying then it is Lord over the emotions that control such things, such as what else he say down there? What are those other emotions he said?
Such as rage, fear, and pain.
Right. So he let you know this. Your reason has absolute master over it. He finna go into it more. Go ahead.
How then, some might ask, if reason is master of the passions,
right,
does it not control forgetfulness and ignorance?
See, somebody might think they smart.
Yeah.
Well, if it control all that, how it can't stop you from forgetting? Forgetfulness is not an emotion.
No.
Right? Ignorance ain't an emotion either. So that's a dumb argument if somebody was to say that. All right, go ahead.
The question is absurd. It is not over its own inherent defects that reason is master, but over the passions that are opposed to justice and courage and temperance, and master over these is not such a way as to eradicate them, but to keep men from surrendering to them.
All right, so don't ever think because you fasted for 3 or some days and you've been praying, you've been on your P's and Q's, that you just ain't gonna never feel right. You ain't gonna never feel, you know what I'm saying, no passions. They ain't there. Your reason is not there to eradicate them, get them out of your body altogether, but to keep you from surrendering to
them. That's right, brother.
That's what that's there for. So don't ever think, you know what I'm saying, Man, I ain't supposed to be getting mad. Man, dang, I keep slipping. The scripture don't say you ain't supposed to get mad. It say don't sin while you mad. Right? Go ahead.
I could prove to you from many and varied sources that reason is absolute master of passions. But far the best example I could furnish is the heroism of those who died for virtue's sake, namely Eleazar, the 7 brothers and their mother, taking no account at all of the sufferings that brought them to their death. They all prove that reason is Lord over the passions. I might indeed eulogize for their virtues those men who at this season of the year died together with their mother for goodness sake.
All right, so the mother and 7 sons and Eleazar is the best example, he said, how reason is over the passions, because they ignore pain all the way up until the point of death.
That's right, brother.
To preserve their character. That's prime example of how could you ignore the pain of all those tortures up into death and not give in? And not say in the middle of okay, no more. That hurt. Give me the pork, I'll eat it.
That's a hard lick, man.
These people we come from a people with strong mental resolve. These thin-skinned, weak-minded, fold at the first sight of pressure Israelites walking around here today, I don't know where they come from. I don't know where they come from. The first time something get hard, they go into their little shell. I'm talking about, boy, the first time they offended. I can't go to class no more, man.
Yeah.
It's just too much going on, man. And all you gotta do is pick up the phone and call them, and it's over with.
Right. But they'll find strength to go everywhere else.
Yeah.
Instead of running to y'all, they run from
him. And he can't deal with you. You're not ready. You're not ready. Go ahead.
Not only was all mankind stirred to wonder by their courage and fortitude, but even their own torturers. And so they became responsible for the downfall of the tyranny which beset our nation, overcoming the tyrant by their fortitude, so that through them their own land was purified. But I shall have opportunity presently to speak on this matter. Meanwhile, I will begin as I am accustomed to with the general theory, and then I shall turn to their story, giving glory to Yah, the all-wise.
All right, so let's get verse 13. Now it says the supremacy of reason. All right, all right, let's get it. Verse 13.
The subject of discussion then is whether reason is absolute master of the passions. But we have to define what reason is and what passion is.
All right, so let's get the definitions. Go ahead.
How many forms of passions there are, and whether reason is Lord over them all. Reason, I suggest, is the mind making a deliberate choice of life of wisdom.
All right, so deliberate. Everybody know what that means. Done with full
intention.
Conscience.
That's right.
And intentions. Like you do this righteousness on purpose.
So you sin on purpose?
You can sin on purpose. You can do righteous on purpose.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It says, so now we know what reason is. It says reason, I suggest, is the mind making a deliberate choice of the life of wisdom. Sister come and cuss you out. You make a deliberate choice of the life of wisdom and be like, sister, bless you. I don't know what's going on. Since you need to pray real quick. That was kind of mean. That's how you do that. Take the evil spirit right up off of them. Instead of cussing them out right back, right? That's reason, righteous thinking, godly thinking. Go ahead.
Wisdom, I submit, is the knowledge of things divine and human and of their causes.
Go ahead.
And this wisdom, I assume, is the culture we acquire from the law, through which we learn the things of Yah reverently and the things of men to our worldly advantage. The forms of wisdom consist of prudence, justice, courage, and temperance. Of all these, prudence is the most authoritative.
Yeah, I see that. Prudence. Knowing what to do in every situation. Right? Go ahead.
For it is through it that reason controls the passions. Of the passions, the two all-embracing kinds are pleasure and pain.
All right, so he's saying that the two general categories of passions or emotions is pleasure and pain. All right, go ahead.
And each of these inherits in the body as well as the soul.
All right, and these passions, pleasure and pain, all of them that come with it, that fall under those two categories, he said they can show themselves in the body or the soul. Right? Go ahead.
A large retinue of the passions attends upon both pleasure and pain. Before pleasure comes desire,
Right.
and after pleasure comes joy. Before pain comes fear, and after pain comes sorrow. Anger is a passion involving both pleasure and pain, if one reflects on it, how it has touched him. Included under the pleasure also is the malicious moral temper, which expresses itself in the most widely varied ways of all the passions, those of the soul being pretentiousness and avarice and seeking the limelight and the contentiousness and backbiting. I'm at 27.
Hold on.
I went too far?
Nah, you're going too fast.
Oh, my bad, bro.
Slow it down just a tad bit.
Yeah, I was moving up as I was reading, so I'm multitasking, and y'all don't even know it. See?
Picked it up at 26 where it says
What you gonna do?
nah,
Include
25
included.
Says, yeah, included under.
Included under the pleasure also is the malicious moral temper, which expresses itself in the most widely varied ways of all passions, those of the soul being pretentiousness and avarice, and seeking the limelight and the contentiousness and backbiting.
So these are the passions that show through the soul, your innermost being. Right? Go ahead.
Those of the body being voracious appetite for all kinds of food.
Man, you eat it all. Just like the old boy, the Bizarre Foods heathen.
Oh yeah, he eat anything.
You would eat pig feet, pig knuckles, pig nose, pig ears, pig butt, pig belly, pig back, pig thigh, pig pelvis, pig
gopher,
whatever, beaver, raccoon. You eat anything.
Skunk,
rabbit, turtle. Go ahead.
And gluttony and gormandizing in private.
Right. So you like to be a glutton in private. You like to sneak eat skins when ain't nobody looking. You know what I'm saying? You like to cut all the lights off.
Sneaking skins.
Cut all the lights off while you eating the skins. Right, go ahead.
Now, pleasure and pain being, as it were, two branches stemming from the body and soul. There are many offshoots of these passions. Each of these reasons the master gardener purges thoroughly and prunes and binds up the waters and irrigates all around.
So he said each of the reasons the master gardener purges thoroughly and prunes and binds up and waters and irrigates all around. So with these two branches that's going from the soul and body, it says your godly thinking or your righteous reason is it acts like a master gardener, right? Because your passions, these two branches, they got a lot of offshoots on them. That's like wild growth. You know what I'm saying? And your godly thinking comes in and it trim them heads, get the weeds up out of there.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It put the stuff down there to keep the rodents and all that from coming to eat your plants. Right? Go ahead.
And so domesticates the wild undergrowth of inclinations and passions. For reason is the guide of the virtues and the supreme master of passions.
Yeah.
Observe in the first place how, in regard to these things that hinder temperance, reason is complete master of the passions. Temperance, as I understand it, is control over desires. And of the desires, some relate to the soul and others to the body, over both of which reason obviously holds sway.
Right.
When we are attracted to forbidden food.
Read them skins. I ain't had no skins in about 6 years, man. Them things used to be so fire with the hot sauce on them. That's what you start thinking. What keeps you from actually going into the gas station and getting a bag of skins?
Godly reasoning.
Godly reasoning. That's how we know it's master over whatever emotion we feel. Right? How many years he ain't Puerto Rico? Hey, thank you. How many? What about you, sis?
Probably
Charles,
about 20.
Ema, sis. It's been a
Over
minute.
decades. No, it didn't.
Mama Rob.
Not knowingly.
Oh yeah, knowing.
Yeah, knowing.
Right,
Right, exactly. But okay, but we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we was able to go all these years without eating this food. Why is that? So it should be no excuse for nobody in here to not be able to do nothing. The Most High say do.
That's right.
That's what you say.
Right? Because your godly reasons that kept you from eating pork all these years.
Yes, sir.
Kept you from eating shrimp all these years.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So why it can't keep the young lion from wanting to slap the taste out of people mouth and cussing people out?
That's a hard one.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no excuse.
That's right, brother.
If I think righteous, man, it's just the fact that if you think righteous long enough, you won. If you think righteousness long enough, you won. If I think about hugging you instead of slapping you after you done piss me off, I won. That's all I got to do. You know what I'm saying? But look, we be so stubborn. We don't even want to do that. We want to be mad. Well, I'm talking about me. I be want to be mad. When I'm mad, I want to be mad. Let me be mad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't righteous though. When I know I need to let it go. It be when I know I need to let it go.
And that be the Ruach telling you to let it go.
Yeah.
Because it's only gonna eat you like a canker, man.
Yeah. Then at the end of the night, I be sitting there, hey, man, my head hurt. She'll just be looking at me like, duh, Negro. You sitting there holding on to all that anger. Look, we can decide to let that go. And when Paul talked about the battle in Romans 7, you know what I'm saying? When he was like, the good I want to do, I can't do it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The evil that I shouldn't be doing, that's what I'm doing. This the same thing. You know what he said later on down in that chapter? He said, to will is with me. I got willpower to overcome.
That's right.
He was talking about that godly thinking.
Right.
It's in your reach. Within your reach.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It's within your reach, but we don't even reach. Go ahead.
When we are attracted to forbidden foods, how do we come to reject pleasures to be gained from them? It is not because reason has power to control appetite.
He said, is it not?
Is it not? I'm sorry. That's right. Is it not because reason has power to control the appetite? I believe it is. Accordingly, we crave seafood or fowl or the meat of four-legged beasts or any sort of food at all that is forbidden to us under the law.
Man, he say nothing about all meat being forbidden by the law, did he? Oh, okay, so our forefathers that had that understanding.
No. I don't know where they got that garbage from.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
You heard that, did you too?
It is through the mastery of the reasons that we abstain.
Yeah.
For the proclivities of our appetites are restrained and held in check by the prudent mind. And all the motions of the body are muzzled by reason.
So if you've been able, by your reason, to deny unclean foods this whole time, think about what you struggle with the most, and not think about how much easier that's going to be for you to overcome now that you know about this godly thinking.
That's right, brother.
And how powerful it is over your emotions.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That uncontrollable lust to go make some money, to drink, to overeat, to sleep with multiple people. You can overcome that. You can overcome that. If you ain't touched no unclean food in over a decade, you can overcome that lust. That's easy work. He already said you got the victory, right?
Yep.
More than conqueror. That's what he said.
Apocalypse Cedric said, I done gave man to do all the power to do all things I've set before him. No excuse.
Yep. Go ahead.
We're in chapter 2, the 4 Maccabees. The laws of compatibility with reason.
All right, this is the last place. We're gonna read this whole chapter. This through verse 24.
All right.
Verse 24.
What wonder then, if the desires of the soul for union with beauty are deprived of their force?
All right. So what if your soul desires to unite with something beautiful? Ooh, she fine. She got a husband. Ooh, he fine. He got a wife. in a committed monogamous relationship. He already let it be known he ain't looking for no second wife, but you still want to go over there.
Have you
You
thought about
still
it?
got the temptation to go over there, right? So what keeps you from doing that? Righteous reasoning. Go ahead.
It is on these very grounds that the temperate Joseph is praised, because through his own rational faculty he gained mastery over his sensuality. Though a young man at the prime of his sexual desire.
You see that? That's powerful right there. Because and we've been taught while we in our sexual prime to run them up.
Yeah.
That's what we've been taught. Run them up. Run them up. But he was in his sexual prime as a young man, and look, he beat out lust through straight mental effort.
That's right.
Straight mental effort. That's how he beat lust. Go ahead.
He quenched the burning ardor of his passions, and not only over the fiery passions of sexual desires does reason evidently exercise control, but over all desire.
So young men, y'all ain't got no excuse.
Mm-mm.
Man, I'm young, my hormones. So that don't mean nothing, bro. Control yourself. Have some discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to eat because there's food in the refrigerator. Eat when you get hungry. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go sleep with everybody just because you in your sexual prime. Get you a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
For the law says you shall not covet your neighbor's wife or anything that is your neighbor's. Surely then, since the law tells us not to covet, I should the much more readily persuade you that reason has power to control the desires. It has the power indeed over passions which hinder justice. For how else could a man who habitually gormandizes in private
Eating them skins. Go ahead.
or is gluttonous or a drunkard be taught to change his ways if reason were not obviously lord over the
You
passions?
see that? He's saying if reason is not master over the passions, why would we tell people to change their ways if
Right.
it's not?
Right.
Why would we do that? Go ahead.
As soon as a man conducts himself according to the law, then even if he be avaricious,
Greedy. Go ahead.
he reverses his own natural tendency to lend to the needy without interest, canceling debt with the coming of the 7-year period. And if a man be niggardly, read that again for all the Hebrews. If a man be niggardly,
that mean very stingy.
that's right.
That don't
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
he just act like a nigga all the time. That ain't what that means.
Niggardly. See, man, nigga, he up there saying nigga, man. That's in the Bible, man.
Right.
Shut up.
Right.
He is brought under the rule of the law through reason,
Facts.
so that he neither gleans over the stubble in the harvest of fields, nor picks the last grape from his vine.
You see that? So our Torah give us that righteous reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's
cold right
it's
there.
certain wisdom in the Torah. Like when you read certain laws, you're supposed to pull certain wisdom from it. Like say if me and Rico live next to each other, we had our livestock and all this, and one of my animals went over there and gored him or his children or wife or something like that.
Pay on that.
I got to pay on that. And then if Rico seen that same animal stuck in the ditch, Rico wasn't supposed to be like, that's that nigga animal that gored my child. I ain't helping that thing out the ditch.
Can't do that either.
No. So the wisdom in that was you ain't supposed to hold grudges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be forgiving with your brother. The whole wisdom with leaving the grapes, not gleaning your vineyard. Don't be selfish.
Right.
You're going to always have the poor around.
That's right, brother.
So
That's
that
right.
you don't forget how to give. That's why it's always poor people everywhere you see.
Yeah.
That's so you don't get stingy with your worldly possessions and stop forgiving how to give to people. Right? Go ahead.
In other cases, also, we can perceive that reason is master of the passions. For the law takes precedent over the benevolence to parents,
All right.
and
Go
will
ahead.
not betray virtue for their sake.
All right. So it said the law takes what? Benevolence over what?
The precedence over benevolence to the parents, and will not betray virtue for their sake.
All right, so you can't even, the law got stuff in it to where you can't even love your parents more than what you're supposed to be doing according to this scripture. Go ahead.
It takes precedence over love for a wife and reproves her for transgression.
Right. Go ahead.
It overrules love for children and punishes them for wrongdoing.
Mhm.
And it exercises its authority over the intimate relationship with friends and rebukes them for evil. I'm gonna read that again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read that again. And it exercises the authority over intimate relationships with friends and rebukes them for evil.
Exactly.
Nor should you think it paradoxical that reason is able through the law to master enmity. You can't master enmity. You can't. Nor should you think it is paradoxical that reason is able through the law to master enmity, so that a man will not cut down trees in his enemy's orchard and will save the property of his adversary from marauders and raise up his beast when it has fallen.
That's what we was just talking about. Go ahead.
What? Reason is also obviously in control of the more aggressive passions.
Like what?
Ambition,
Mm.
vanity, false pretensions, pride, backbiting.
Backbiting. I just can't go to sleep till I backbite or tell somebody business. Yes,
Yeah.
you can. You just can't stop it. Just shut your mouth. All you gotta do is keep your lips closed. That's all you gotta do.
Bite your tongue off, you have to.
Right. Study new things to talk about other than gossiping. Just
Right.
do something. Just stop gossiping. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All these malicious passions, the temperate mind rejects.
Mm.
All these malicious passions, the temperate mind rejects.
Mm.
All these
self-control
malicious
mind.
passions.
Yeah.
The person with the temperate mind,
The self-control mind.
yeah, it
Right.
rejects it,
Okay.
as it does even with anger,
All these malicious passions, so depression,
hate,
hate,
envy,
anger.
backbite.
You know what I'm saying? All these things can't come into your mind unless y'all consent to them. Right? Go ahead.
When Moshe grew angry with Dathan and Abiram,
Mm.
instead of venting his anger upon them, he moderated it by reason. For the tempered mind, as I have said, has the power to triumph over the passions,
Right.
to transform some of them and quell others.
Mm.
How else did our surpassingly wise father Jacob blame Simeon and Levi and their friends for slaughtering the whole tribe of the Shechemites without any appeal to reason, and declare a curse be their rage?
Yeah.
Surely if reason could not control anger, he would not have spoken in this
You
way.
would have said a word to them if they couldn't control themselves. They could have controlled themselves.
Yeah, they could have.
They could have calmed down.
They didn't like him anyway. They were Hamites and they hated him, but they didn't use that, because guess what? He came to the damn.
Yeah.
That was part of their law.
Mm-hmm.
So he was keeping the law. He didn't know the law.
Yeah.
But they was like, man, I don't like dude.
Man,
He a
he
Hamite.
raped our sister.
He a
This is-
Hamite.
Look,
I'm
I can
finna
hear
get
I can hear us now. This a heathen too. All yeah, he gotta go.
Yeah, we finna hit him.
He is split.
Yep.
Go ahead.
When God fashioned man, he implanted in him his passions and inclinations.
Mm.
And let me scroll up, at the same time enthroned the intellect of mere senses as the sacred guide over all. That's an Apocalypse
Hallelujah.
track right there.
Yeah. So
He said, I gave you these paths, but I also gave you godly thinking.
that equilibrium.
That's it, bro.
Yeah, that's what's gonna balance all them emotions and passions out. That godly thinking.
Mhm.
What verse you at? 24.
I'm in 23. I'm in the end of 23.
All right, go ahead.
To the intellect, he gave the law. And if
Mm.
a man lives his life by the law, he shall reign over a kingdom that is temperate and just and good and brave. Verse 24. How is it then that someone may object that if reason is master over the passions?
I want you to stop at 23.
Okay, my bad.
We're gonna pick it up part 3 at chapter 3. We're just gonna go through the whole chapter.
All right.
You know what I'm
Sound
saying? Looking at the reason versus the passions. But that was the class You know what I'm saying? It's for the Feast of Dedication. I know people was expecting us to get into the wars and all that, but I kind of wanted to do something a little different.
There you go, Hebrew. All praise.
Still dealing with the Maccabees, 4 Maccabees.
And still dealing with your temple.
That's
the
right.
dedication of your temple.
That's right. That's right. So that was part 2, Life on the Narrow Path, or Emotion, the Roller Coaster, Reason versus Passions. I hope somebody got
Hallelujah. All right, we gonna be getting to this Feast of Dedication here shortly. Any announcement, my brother? What the people?
We have. I'm thinking we back here next Friday.
Okay.
Let me make sure. But that's all I have for.
All right.
We back here on the 18th. So mark that down. We back here December 18th.
So we will not be at the class next
We
week.
will not be at the class.
We'll be online next week. We'll be online only next week. That'll be Friday and the Shabbat day. What you got, Phil?
One of the guys asked for prayer for his mother-in-law. You know, the young man that came with me.
Yeah.
He had prayer for his mother-in-law. Her name was Freddie Brooke. Freddie.
Well, we just say call Mama. The Lord know where he is.
Yeah.
Sister Freddie.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be lifting up prayer. Keep brother Carl, his mother, in y'all prayer, and make sure you know that we pray that the Most High will be done as far as that goes. And then I'm gonna share this flyer real quick. We're gonna do the men's prayer group. We shared it last night. We're gonna share it again. We got the men's prayer group, Gird Up Nation. Men's International Prayer Call. There's the dial-in numbers. It's 12 o'clock Sundays on Sundays, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. You call in, give them your name, put your phone on mute, and then when they start asking for prayer requests, you can put your prayer request in, and then they'll go through some dissertations on that, and then they'll have a fellowship portion afterward. The call can last up to 3 to 4 hours, depending on what's going on. You're welcome to call in and even bow at your convenience. So, Gird Up Nation, Me in Prayer, great vehicle that these brothers, King Solomon and Yehukanan, have put together in Chazak. All praise to the Most High for them, giving them the vision to do that as well. So, with that, we gonna if there are no more announcements. Oh, I got an announcement. My Hebrew in the back. The Eddie Murphy Brew. We got a new YouTube channel. Chop It Up with Charlie.
Yeah.
You heard me? Chop It Up with Charlie. He did his first live today. Was it your first live today, Hebrew? Yeah, chop it up, Charlie. Yeah, hey, boy, they doing it up here, boy. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Chop It Up with Charlie. So, yeah, what's your broadcast time, Hebrew? So they got to subscribe to the channel. Give them the YouTube channel. Charge y'all on YouTube. Yeah. All right. Hey, charge y'all on YouTube. He said whenever the spirit hit him, that's when he gonna go live. Yeah. Current events, I assume, or just uplift edification. Wait, I got you. Okay. Yeah, y'all go check him out on YouTube. Chop It Up with Charlie. I said, look at Charles, y'all been there. What I'm talking about? I didn't get to listen. I listened to some of it. I didn't get to listen. I'm gonna finish it up today, bro. When I get back to the house, but I ain't get to listen to all. I listened about 10 minutes, so I had to get myself. Yeah, that's well, we need that. We need that sincere milk. Yes, sir. We need that. No problem with that, bro. Got to have it. All right, if there are no more announcements, we gonna stand and close out, and we gonna turn it over to the sisters. Right? Yes, sir. Y'all gonna do y'all thing, and then we gonna get this munch on. All right, y'all, we gonna stand and face Jerusalem. And then we're going to close out and get to my script. Ecclesiastes, the 12. We're going to read verses 13 through 14. And it reads, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For Yah shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done in earth.
thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread,
And forgive us of our debts.
and forgive us of our debts,
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not to temptation.
And lead us not into temptation,
But deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom,
And the power.
and the glory, forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty God.
Praise the mighty Yah. All right.
All right.
Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Shabbat, brothers and sisters. We'll see y'all on the other side.